All right, welcome to Lights Camera Barstool. Today, got a lot of news to get to. It was a big news week. And also, we're going to do a little bit of review on Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, which is a show that I think got maligned a lot when season one came out. We've talked about it before, but I've since rewatched it. I think I like it more on my second rewatch. And season two just dropped the first three, new episodes coming out weekly. Also, a couple other things like Terminator Zero came out, and also movies too. But start out with just saying, I'm so.
Are you not going to address the fact that Rings of Power has ruined my childhood? Are you not going to address this fact? My parents were in town this weekend because I just couldn't deal. I couldn't deal with Rings of Power returning, and they've broken all the lore. They broke all the lore. The orcs have families now, Ken Jack, and I hate that.
It's so fucking funny. That one dude being like, "This fucking woke bullshit." Making males fuck females and have kids? Woke media strikes again. It's so fucking funny.
They should have an orc in like elven drag, just to fuck with people.
I want to see it just a female orc with a dick or something. I don't know. It's fucking craziness. I will say the only thing that makes me mad, the only lore thing as far as the gender goes with Lord of the Rings Power that makes me mad is that there's no bearded women in the dwarves.
I will say they added a little bit more to Dina. Yeah. They gave her a little bit more sideburns. She's kind of looking like late stage Elvis Presley, which is a nice addition. But yeah, no, not enough bearded ladies. I think when we get to our Rings of Power review, we need to do like 1 minute where we say it's the worst show ever made, 1 minute where it's the best show ever made, and just anybody who has any criticism of it is just flat out wrong and doesn't actually know the lore, and then we'll get into our real review.
I do like that, and the same, almost in the spirit of Elvis. Like the Snowman or whatever would sell like the "I hate Elvis" and the "I love Elvis" buttons. Yeah. Like we just do 1 minute shitting on Lord of the Rings of Power and 1 minute loving it, and then just reap both for social.
Yeah, I can figure out the thumbnail.
Yeah,
confuse people.
Just a vague enough thumbnail, but then post social clips for the full minute ranting against and ranting for. And just see how the reaction is. I doubt anyone, because the weird thing is like people like search exactly for what they want in their bubble. You know what I mean? So like people that find the one that hates Lord of the Rings, they're never going to find the one where we're pro Lord of the Rings, and the pro ones won't find the bad ones.
Yeah, I'm just imagining some ugly English bloke sitting in his mom's basement, just searching Rings of Power woke.
You're describing like Christopher Tolkien, I think, whatever the Tolkien's son. But yeah, dude. On personal news, I'm so fucking tired, dude. I did that stairs thing yesterday because I didn't want to take any stairs for the Chargers this week.
Yeah, I saw that.
It hurts so fucking bad, man. I don't know what I expected at all.
Don't you live quite far up in your apartment building?
There's about 30 floors down and 30 floors up. The down was fine, as expected. The up was terrible. The way down today was way worse. Like, I felt like the worst leg workout in the world, and then just going down all those steps after, you have no coordination in your legs anymore.
You climb 30 steps, 30 floors, 30 flights, and you're surprised that your legs aren't working today.
It's not surprised. Well, I guess maybe more surprised at how badly the going down the steps was affected. Just all my coordination was completely gone.
I'm sure you felt like your legs were just going to give out on the way down.
Dude, I was holding on to like the fucking banister or whatever for like dear life, like the railing. Like I thought I was gonna die if I slipped and fell. But yeah, that was a rough one. But we both have wins. We actually have a LCB bowl this year. We have. Actually, we have a treat at least for the Chargers. I know we play the Browns and we play the Bengals. I don't know. You guys definitely play each other. Obviously, I'm trying to think if
unfortunately
there might be a Colts game in there somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, I know we have one. You guys are definitely gonna win, no question.
Against the Chargers?
Yeah, you should.
You should. The Browns will lose both those games. It's just written in the stars. I don't know what it is. Just can't beat them.
Team. They're a good team, except for their quarterback sucks.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's the funniest part. But anyway, that's no football talk. First thing we can talk about, actually, as we were starting this up, it broke that Tom Hardy and Aaron Taylor Johnson are going to star in Cary Fukunaga's crime thriller Blood on Snow. Film follows a hitman on the run in the middle of a gang war after failing to do a job. That's a combination of two great English actors. I just pray to Christ that they don't make him do any sort of regional like, hey, Tom,
boo.
Tom, we want you to play a guy that's from Manchester. And he's like, okay, well, can it be from this certain enclave where they only use this pitch and they can only speak this way and they only do this thing? Like, no, Tom, just talk normal, please God. And he's just like, no, I got to do this freaky shit. But I mean, I love all this. I mean, the last crime thing I remember seeing, he was in Taboo, Tom Hardy, which was really good. That was an underrated series. And then he was also in this one. Do you remember the one where he played twins? I think it was Legend.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's unreal. That's one of his better performances.
Yeah, that was a really good one. I like, at least the performance-wise. The movie's like okay, but like he's really good in that. And also Bronson, obviously, he was really good in.
Have you seen this movie where he plays like this investigative journalist trying to bring down major? There's two of them. He brings down these like major corporations, unveils like big conspiracies. He plays this guy named Eddie Brock.
God fucking damn it, dude. You baited me good. You baited me real fucking good on that. Yep. God damn it. The third one
people in San Francisco, they talk like this.
Fucking stupid. Aaron Taylor Johnson, though, great crime guy already. Like, dude, he was so good in Bullet Train.
Yeah. He's on the come up. As soon as he drops his mistress, not his mistress, his wife. Yeah, questionable relationship. But he's got some stuff coming up. I think he is very much in the front for James Bond, the way they've been talking about it. The rumors are they want to go young. He's been attached to it,
just like his wife, ironically.
She needs she's at the country club with the Broccoli family, playing gin rummy.
What's the polo? Yeah.
And then he's obviously got another banger coming out this year.
I'm excited for Craven. I'm fucking pumped up for Craven, dude. I'm into it.
The new trailer, whoever they got to cut the new trailer versus the first one, like they deserve quite the raise, quite the payday, because that trailer in theaters really does kind of get me going. Like I'm ready for it.
Me too, dude. Did you see? So speaking of Sony stuff, they made that game Concord. That they made this game Concord. It's basically a ripoff of Overwatch. It's like a clone, almost bit for bit. And it took them 8 years to develop it. It cost them over $100 million. And they dropped it last week. The peak concurrent players was like 600 people. And they pulled it after 2 weeks and offered refunds to everybody that bought it.
Wait, and how much money did they spend on this game?
Over $100 million in development in 8 years. Just to make a ripoff. A fucking Overwatch and to pull it after 2 weeks.
And is it called Conquer or Concord?
Concord. Like a grape.
Yeah. See, that's just a terrible name. What were they expecting?
Yeah, bad name. And like all the clips that they showed ahead of it were just like, I don't know. It's not for anybody. And that market is so oversaturated. But it just made me laugh. Just thinking like, it shouldn't make you laugh, right? It's like people were talking about blah, 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 blah. Like the fact that they try to make like a ripoff of an already very popular game that already has ripoffs of it that are successful. And like, I don't know, it just makes no goddamn sense. Anyway, first trailer for Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story. Just talked about Ryan Murphy pretty recently with his thing that's coming out this month. Was it the Grotesquerie or whatever? Javier Bardem in this. Chloe Sevigny. I always feel like I'm pronouncing her name wrong, but I don't know. And then a couple other actors as well. Netflix on September 19th. It's part of the same anthology as the Dahmer thing they did with Evan Peters. The Menendez story, like I know like enough about it. I just know they ate their parents or some shit. Creepy.
They ate them? I don't know anything about these killers.
Maybe they just killed them. It was just Dahmer that was doing the eating. But I know they killed their parents for sure. I don't know. It's just, I think when we talk about this with the Grotesquerie thing, I think I'm just at my Ryan Murphy limit for a while. I think he needs to take a scale shit back a little bit.
Yeah, these series seem to have a very targeted audience.
Oh yeah,
they got a lot of cats.
White women that want to fuck a dangerous man. That is the target audience of this show.
And yeah, the second the brothers were in the back seat, like inches away from kissing, I was like, and they're just like way too attractive. I was just like, yeah, I see who this is for. Not me, but I get it.
Yeah, there's a targeted audience there. Same thing with the Dahmer one with Evan Peters, where everyone was like, oh, fuck me, Jeffrey Dahmers, and like the Zac Efron shit. Like they know the audience, and it exists and is large.
Oh, I always forget that. I always forget Zac Efron just starred in that dog shit Ted Bundy movie.
Yeah,
with a stupid title.
Bundy,
what was it?
It was like it was so long. The title. It was like
Birds of Prey run for its money.
Dude, it was like fucking Dr. Parnassus's whatever thing, except it was about killing. It was like, Zac Efron Bundy movie. It's like the unimaginable something of
extremely wicked, shockingly evil, and vile.
Fuck, it's so stupid. Such a stupid title.
That just gets my panties wet, doesn't it?
Yeah, fucking Zacky. There's a Minecraft movie dropped its first trailer. This has been talked about for a long time. It's directed by Jared Hess, the guy that did Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre. Random pull for this one. Feels like one of those things where like his kid definitely loved the game, and he was like, "Oh, fuck, I'll do it. Seems cool to me." Jason Momoa, Jack Black, Jennifer Coolidge, Kate McKinnon, Jermaine Clement. Seems like the most.
What a lineup! What a lineup of just people who come in and just have like catchphrases, basically.
It's like if you asked AI to cast like a mid-level crappy CGI movie, who would you want? It would be all of these people.
This movie was casted by Facebook, just the 40-year-olds on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
It's the 40-year-olds that fall for fake trailers, like the Friends movie.
Yeah,
those trailers that I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
it's exactly these four. And I don't know much about Minecraft. I don't know about you, but I just never played it. It's not. I think I just like if it came out like 4 years earlier, I would definitely be obsessed with it. But
I'm not a baby. I'm not a baby. I'm not a skibbity child.
Skibbity Ohio child. You are an Ohio child, I guess.
That's true. This is. I mean, I get that it's a kids movie made for kids. Is like you can't like expect fucking there will be blood. But it truly looks like dog shit.
Looks cheap.
I don't understand the like obsession with this like half live action, half animated hybrid. Like obviously it worked for Sonic. Sonic is fucking awesome and looks great. It's so obviously everything is on a blue screen. Like the background looks so terrible. Jason Momoa. What's going on with Jason Momoa's character?
No clue.
That's definitely gonna. Parents are going to be super normal about that one. There definitely is going to be nobody upset about that.
You never watched Hunter x Hunter, right?
No.
It looks like this character in Hunter x Hunter who like she's like has like the appearance of like a girl, but then like when she like powers up, she's like a mega jacked like guy build, like Arnold Schwarzenegger build, and like that's just what it reminds you of looking at him.
Yeah, I mean he looks like the average One Piece character, to be honest. Yeah, he's dressing like Doflamingo.
Dude, you see they cast Katie Seagal in that? That was a great get for her.
Dude, you don't even know because for like 10 years, Jamie Lee Curtis has been beating this drum, being like, I want to play Dr. Correa in the live action One Piece if they ever do it. And then it was like, oh, fuck, she's actually going to do it. Like, they're going to get her. And thank God she's not doing it because fucking Freakier. The reason why they didn't get her is because of fucking Freakier Friday is going to be filming at the same exact time, so she can't do it. And they ended with Katie Seagal, who's, I mean, amazing. I mean, a legend in every decade.
Mm-hmm. Great. Obviously Futurama, or obviously Married with Children, but also Futurama. And then fucking Sons, man. She's really good in Sons.
Yeah. Great get. Yeah, no, I'm very happy with that.
I want to try and like break down the plot of this. So Four Misfits, Garrett, the Garbage Man Garrison.
These are real characters, by the way.
Jason Momoa. Henry, Natalie, and Dawn find themselves struggling with ordinary problems when suddenly they're pulled through a mysterious portal into Overworld, a bizarrely blocky wonderland which we know and mine extensively. Love. I think they fucked this up somehow. Or maybe I'm fucking this up. This kind of sounds just on its face just Jumanji again.
Yeah, I was about to say that's just Jumanji.
They're describing Jumanji, which also has Jack Black in it. To get home, they'll have to master this world and protect it from evil things like piglins and zombies too, while embarking on a magical quest with an unexpected expert crafter, Steve, Jack Black. Together, their adventure will challenge all five to be bold and reconnect with the qualities that make each of them uniquely creative, the skills they need to thrive back in the real world. April 4th. It's just Jumanji, but with a more popular IP, I guess.
Yeah, no, definitely more popular IP.
Like the best-selling game of all time.
You know, they're also fucking livid that they have like they got Jack Black at his lowest moment. Like, no one wants Jack Black right now. Like, no one at all. And you know what? Now thinking about it, I'm getting even angrier that this is like live action, because they could have done something cool with the Minecraft, like the way it looks in the game. Like think of like the Lego movie. Like the first time I heard the Lego movie, I was like, how the fuck are they going to pull it off? And then once you saw it in action, you're like, oh, that's fun. It's a lot of fun. That's cool. It's different way to do 3D animation. They could have done something really fun here.
Yeah.
They just didn't. They didn't.
It's a bummer. We mentioned before, we were in our chat about it. The guy that created Minecraft is like the richest guy in video games, that German, I think, or maybe Dutch dude, Notch. And I remember once a long time ago reading a story about how he's so rich and so lonely that he offered his friends, he's like, I'll pay double your salaries if you just quit your jobs and be my friend full time. And they all said no. They were all like, we're not doing that.
Oh, hit me up. He needs to hit me up. I'll be his friend.
You'll be the German guy's friend, the German artist's friend.
Listen, some would say German artists are the ones who need friends the most, or else
That's fair, yeah.
They get up to some naughty business.
There's announced yesterday that Fincher's next movie is going to be a crime western called Bitterroot, supposedly similar to Unforgiven, Clint Eastwood movie, great movie. This is one where like I'm torn on it. Like I saw Jeff's retweet of it too, where he's like, "Oh, it sucks that Fincher's stuck with Netflix, blah blah blah." And like, yeah, that does suck to a degree. Like his shit being on streaming, it shouldn't be. We should be able to watch that in theaters for sure. On the flip side of it, maybe just like independent of that fact, I do love the idea of Fincher doing a crime western. I love everything about that, because I mean, if you just look at his just background in crime movies and then you apply that to like just someone more classic western like beats, I think that could be fantastic. And we don't really have a lot of good westerns these days. I would just love to see a great new one.
Yeah, like you're saying, everything on paper is like, fuck yes. Yeah, Fincher, I love Fincher films. Even if I didn't love The Killer, come on, Fincher's one of our greatest. Westerns, like you said, we need more of them. We don't really get them anymore, and when we do, they kind of, more than half the time, they stink. Even when they sound like good on paper, they end up stinking. So I like where we're heading here, but I agree with Jeff. I think Fincher, he needs to get out of this Netflix deal. Like Fincher is a director who needs to be seen on the big screen, even if it's like, just because there's no explosions or like, big action sequences, not a blockbuster, it needs to be seen on the big screen with the audio, with the clear picture, with the big moments. And I don't know, man. I'm starting to think we should cancel directors. Cancel directors if you have two movies in a row that release straight to streaming, you're canceled in my book. Fincher might be on the canceling block for me.
Well, we didn't love The Killer, but we liked The Killer. Mank was a vanity project, but that's fine. That's if you're a director of that stature, you're allowed to do it. What was before that? What was his last movie before Mank? I feel like we're missing a big one.
I mean, he's got the obviously Mindhunter series, which another thing
that people love.
I'm sure he pulled the plug on that fucking series, 100%. Like, because everything is like he has all this money to do all these like movies that are clearly not going to bring in viewers for Netflix. Like Mank, he probably brought that to them and was like, "We're probably going to get like 200,000 views on this, like tops, like a YouTube video." Same thing with The Killer, had more views, but still, it's like I don't even think it was ever number one for a day on there.
It is very funny to think like he's talking to the guys at Netflix and they're like, "Yeah, we can't afford the production on Mindhunter because of the views. Let's put all that money on Mank."
Exactly.
Which is a significantly bigger lift as far as like production value goes, because you need to go all the way back to like the 50s and like get all cars, like road signs, like all that shit from the 50s versus like shit from like I think they were mostly like 80s and stuff. I don't know, but it is across seasons versus a movie set, but whatever.
Yeah, no, but I'm very wary of Mr. Fincher saying that they didn't have the money for that. I think he just didn't really want to do seasons of television anymore. Which fair. He's a movie director.
Before Mank, the last thing he had done was Gone Girl, which is obviously incredible.
Yeah.
Before that, Justin Timberlake featuring Jay-Z, Suit and Tie.
What do you mean?
He directed the Suit and Tie music video.
Well, you obviously remember that one.
No, not even a little bit.
You don't remember that one?
I know this. I remember the song. I don't remember the music video at all.
You don't remember Justin Timberlake dancing in a suit and tie? Wow.
I can picture it exactly. It's just him doing these little like in front of a mirror in a suit and tie. Tonight, gonna have a good time. Yeah, we're gonna have a good time.
Jay-Z's in that song?
I don't remember Jay-Z being in. I definitely remember it being it's a super millennial Justin Timberlake ass song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he makes a lot of these like AI chunks in this like post whatever that album was era. Like what was the one where he's like, I'm the dude in the woods now. Like he had like the flannel and he's like, I'm the man in the woods. And
I remember that.
It's like him wearing a flannel in a woods pretending to be like a lumberjack, and that was like his new bit. And like it just
was that the one where he had the song with Chris Stapleton?
Maybe. I think it was right when he did the Super Bowl. It was that like, for the second time. That was the time.
Man. Right, but Fincher, come on, man. Get back to the big screen. Get out of these streaming deals. You're too talented to be working for fucking Netflix. Like, have some dignity, man. Yeah. Come on. But on paper, this project does sound very interesting.
Yeah.
I just wish it was like not being done by Netflix. Like, I'm sorry. Like, Netflix there's a sheen to everything they do. And it even I think it leaked onto The Killer a bit. And Mank a bit, too. Like, there's just a certain... It's just a je ne sais quoi to the Netflix production staff that you just see it, and once you see it, you can't stop seeing it.
We had the first teaser for Alien Earth. The film's premise reads: when a mysterious space vessel crash lands on Earth, a young woman and a ragtag group of tactical soldiers make a fateful discovery that puts them face to face with the planet's greatest threat. Set 3 decades before Alien. See, the thing is, Romulus was very good. And like you mentioned, I think you tweeted too. You're like, I don't know how this could possibly fit into any of this since Romulus had come out. No clue. However, it is a Noah Hawley joint. And Noah Hawley did, Fargo, Legion, some great TV that we've seen in like the last like decade or so. I'm very in on this. I'm so in on seeing what he can do. Especially after what he was able to do, like with, I would say, a good mix of practical and CGI with Legion. I'm very excited to see what he could do with something like a property like Aliens.
Yeah, I think they just need to go ahead and come out and say that this will not be lore, because he's going to fuck around with it way too much. He's going to fuck around. It won't look. There's a chance the Xenomorphs don't even look right. Like, that's the thing with Noah Hawley. Like, he's just going to be as creative as he possibly can, as much as the studio will allow him to be, and he'll push the limits on this, which I'm excited for. The people who don't like Romulus and have complained that it's too similar and hits too many similar beats to everything else in the franchise and isn't original enough to stand on its own. Well, Alien Earth might be for you, because it'll be very different from everything else in the franchise, if I had to guess.
It'll be super creative for sure.
The timeline definitely doesn't make sense right off the bat. I think it's 1 year before Prometheus. So I don't understand how, so it'll just be corporation stuff?
Let me tell you about a little project called Alien vs. Predator.
Oh, God.
The aliens have been on Earth, buried in the ice of the Arctic, all this time. So there is no question. You don't have to worry. You're pretty little head about no timeline shit with Prometheus. The aliens are there, and they've been there. Just how long did it take us to find them is the question.
I want Michael Fassbender to make an appearance. I know he won't. I want more David.
We talked about it with Romulus, but I wish he was the android so bad. It would have made so much more
bad.
It would have been so much better in every possible way. But whatever. Not the what was the new android's name? I almost wanted to say David again. It definitely wasn't David, but not him. But
David,
the resurrected android is what I'm talking about here. By the way, I just started industry. No, Ash was the old android. I mean the new android from Romulus.
Andy,
yeah. I just started watching Industry, which I've started I think 2 or 3 times. I just started rewatching it. I got to episode 3. It's a fucking good show.
Yeah, I know. My girlfriend keeps recommending I watch it, and for that reason, I won't.
Yeah, that's. I'm so fucking sick of Gilmore Girls, dude. I'm so fucking sick of Gilmore Girls.
What the fuck? What season are you on? I saw you complaining about Rory, so you have to be into like season 4.
We're in the season where she broke up Dean and his wife. Rory did. Yeah. Broke up Dean and his wife, and is now about to dump him to date the dude from Yale.
Oh, so you're way, yeah. I fell off before then. I mean, the first 3 seasons are great, though. I'll stand by that.
I'm not saying like the screenwriting sharp, it's witty, all that stuff. I just think the characters of both Rory and Lorelai are such pieces of shit as far as like in the relationship world, and they get treated as sympathetic characters. Both of them, think about it this way. They view, like, Rory views Dean and Lorelai views Luke as like their backup boys, and they get pissed if they're dating anyone else, and they treat them like dog water. Absolute dog water. And it pisses me off, especially because Dean, as they show him in the show, is the perfect man. The perfect man.
Yep.
It's your boy from Supernatural, Jared Padalecki. Padalecki.
Yes.
Beautiful man. Gorgeous. Dotes on Rory. Great husband. Caring. Loving. Hard worker. All these things. Amazing. She cheats on him with that fucking Milo Ventimiglia dude who's a piece of shit that everyone in the town hates, including like literally everyone. She cheats on him with him. When Dean goes and gets married, Rory sleeps with Dean and breaks them up because, and by the way, Loyal King, people might think that Dean was cheating. He was actually just loyal to Rory this whole time. Just Rory's fault that it all happened. And then Lorelai does the same bullshit with Luke. She goes around and dates other people. Then when Luke dates someone else, she gets mad because he's her backup boy. I hate it. I hate it so much. It pisses me off.
I liked when Lorelai accidentally dated a college student because I was watching at the time. I was in college, and I was like, that could be me.
Could be me.
Lorelai wanted to treat me like dog water. Listen, go right ahead.
Be down for it. I like Emily Moore, the mom, grandma.
Yeah. I like her parents.
She's just an unashamed piece of shit, which I at least appreciate more than the other guys just pretending they're not.
And then, of course, Sean Gunn.
Sean Gunn, very funny.
Yeah, Sean Gunn just showing up. He's like in every other episode just for no reason.
He has every job in the town. And also, I found out that the guy that is like Melissa McCarthy's husband is, because I was like, who is this guy? I just assumed he was a gay pretending to be straight because he, like, the character is the gayest character of all time. But in real life, the guy's married to Alex Bernstein, I think her name is, the voice of Lois, and also obviously in Alex, is it Bernstein? I forget. I'm sorry.
That sounds right.
Yeah. That's Alien Earth anyway, talking about fucking Gilmore Girls. I'm so goddamn sick of it. Night Bitch trailer dropped. A woman pauses her career. What?
Speaking of girlfriends.
Speaking of fucking crazy women. A woman pauses her career to be a stay-at-home mom, but soon her domesticity takes a surreal turn. Amy Adams, Scoot McNairy, directed by Marielle Heller, who did Diary of a Teenage Girl. Watching this trailer, my instant reaction was just, what the fuck are we doing here? What the fuck are we doing here?
This is a disappointment. I'll be honest. That sounds weird, like you're disappointed in the Night Bitch trailer, but when it was announced, I was like, Amy Adams going to play a woman who thinks she's turning into a dog. I was like, okay, that's interesting. I thought it would be more of like a horror, like thriller, psychological kind of spin to that story. This is like just some weird, like ham-fisted commentary on motherhood, which, yeah, that's great, but that is not what I want out of this story.
I want it to be like a psychological crazy trip. It is more just like social commentary told through like a goofy story. And I like Scoot McNairy a lot, though. I think that's an actor that deserves way more roles. He's very similar to me as Christopher Abbott, where like every time Scoot McNairy shows up in a movie, I'm like, oh shit.
Good name too. He could be a college quarterback.
Do you remember he was in he's infielder, no doubt. He was in, I want to say, Justice League. He's the guy in the wheelchair that blows up the Capitol building or whatever, the courthouse.
Yeah. Like, what are you doing, man? That's not going to do anything to Superman.
Yeah, I do like how he just, like, Superman flies out. He's like, oh, fuck. But yeah, anyway, that was Night Bitch. The Apprentice trailer dropped, a story of how a young Donald Trump started his real estate business in the 70s and 80s in New York with the helping hand of infamous lawyer Roy Cohn. It's directed by Ali Abbasi, who directed 2 episodes of The Last of Us. It was like probably the thing people know most for it towards the end of the first season. Sebastian Stan plays Trump. Jeremy Strong plays Roy Cohn. Maria Bakalova plays Ivana Trump. I just don't think – I think if this came out like 4 years ago, this would be the talk of the town. Now I'm just kind of like I'm sick of this shit. I don't know. Like, maybe it'll be interesting kind of seeing like that behind-the-scenes stuff, but like – I don't know. His entire life has been so televised and so, I don't know, force-fed to us against our will, regardless of what we want to know or not, that I'm not totally into this.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously going to have a slant to it. How heavy that slant is, who knows? But no one's going to be level-headed about, like, 90% of people, at least, are not going to be level-headed about this movie. I mean, just take one look at our comments on Instagram or Twitter, and you'll see people are declaring it propaganda after 45 seconds of footage. I am interested to see Jeremy Strong back in a movie that's playing kind of a. I liked the clip. That doesn't mean I'm going to agree with everything in the movie or dissing a good movie. If you're able to just watch it and pretend that these aren't real people, maybe just pretend they're not real people, I think would be my suggestion. That way you can just enjoy it for what it is.
I think I would.
Do you think, by the way, because obviously Sebastian Stan did not use the voice in that clip. He just talks like kind of a normal guy.
You can't do the impression. It wouldn't work.
Oh, I want him to do it in the last like 5 minutes. I want him to put it on like the bat suit and Batman.
Looking in the mirror.
Yeah, he puts the fake tan on. He starts talking like this.
Doing the hand thing. Like, yeah. I saw someone post the other day. Or yesterday, I guess it was like they found the second shooter in the Trump assassination attempt, and it was DJ Ugale, whatever, the dude from Florida State that was played like ass versus BC.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Like the most like boomer meme I laughed at immediately.
Oh my god.
Anyway, let's move to Rings of Power. Quick reviews of the first 3 episodes. So. First episode is basically you get an intro to Sauron becoming Halbrand. Halbrand manipulates Adar into sending him to Rhuidean. Elrond, because they're now bringing the Elven Rings of Power back to Gil-galad. He wants to get rid of them, but the rest of them are kind of like, no, we should use these rings. Like, it'll help us. It'll save all the elves. We get to stay in Middle Earth. And Elrond's like, no, we got to get rid of this shit. So he gives it to like this old ass elf with a beard. Which, look,
that was awesome. That's awesome.
People were like angry. Like I tweeted, I'm like, I don't like elves with beards. I'm not a fan. I think elves gotta look.
That's what makes him so fucking cool.
No, I understand it. It's one of those things though, where when I see an elf, I want them to have the smoothest fucking face you've ever seen in your life. Not a wrinkle to be seen. Like they've just built of Botox or whatever. But like seeing one with a beard, it's just shocking. It just is. And like I know it's part of the lore. It's not something where it's like, oh, they fucked up. Like, he had a beard in the Silmarillion and all this shit. It's just a thing where I see an elf with a beard. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't like it one bit. So, but that elf, he's like, all right, I'm going to take this out to the Marianas Trench and dump it. He's about to dump it. Then like he gets like hit with like a Moana wave. That's like, don't do that. So he brings it back, puts it on. They all put on the rings, and Frank is ranting next to me. I don't know if you can hear it or not.
A little bit.
Going ballistic right next to me. He's not happy about
war. He's
not happy about the elves. The motherfucking elves in the fucking rings.
That's not what Sauron would be in the motherfucking second age.
Yeah. But they put on the rings, which was obviously like a big sign for things to come later in the series. And then also we see our old boy, the stranger, getting chased by the Men of Rune. I like the first episode a lot. Especially like the intro of Sauron and seeing like the aftermath of like the War of Wrath. I think that was really cool.
That was very cool. I don't know how strict to the lore that was. And I think just to preface our review, neither of us, we understand the lore. Neither of us are very beholden to the lore, I don't think. Like small changes, that's fine. Like it's a TV show. It's going to happen. It's for entertainment. Listen, the Peter Jackson trilogy also made some very considerable changes to bring it to the big screen. Just get that out of the way. The Sauron stuff was awesome at the beginning. That was fucking awesome. Adar like turning the helmet and then stabbing him through the top, and then him getting, stabbed like 1,000,000 times. Like 1,000,000 times, and him still just not going down without a fight. until he just fucking explodes and turns everything into ice. That was so sick. And then him turning into that little slimy symbiote monster was fucking so cool, just crawling around the ground.
You had a great call, by the way, with Momononoke reference.
Yeah, I always wonder if they did the design kind of like that, because it is, in a way, very similar thematically. Like, that is just evil incarnate in Mononoke. And then, yeah, all that was great. Sauron, like, getting his body, turning into Halper, having the appearance of Halbrand. Sorry. Having the...
I don't know what's worse. Are you having the siren next to me, or are you having Frank having a fucking meltdown next to me?
Frank. It's 100% Frank. It's not even close. Yeah, I love the Sauron stuff at the beginning. And then the Elven stuff was great, too, because Galadriel, I think, becomes a much more interesting character now that she has flaws. I mean, very apparent, like... She's taken L's. She's going to take a lot of L's this season, I think. And Elrond is there to call her out. So I'm really, really love the setup off the first episode.
Mm-hmm. Elrond is like a good but bad friend. You know what I mean? He's kind of a tattletale a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, all the elves are kind of goody two shoes to a point. Like, they're all they're nerds.
Yeah. The second episode is Galadriel getting sent under Elrond. Because Elrond is like kind of like the head of this little mission or whatever, to Eregion. In Rune, this dark wizard is played by Kieran Hines, great actor. We don't know exactly what he is just yet. He's getting sent to try. He really wants to catch the stranger. He's the one who sent all those like little albino freaks to go and catch him in the first place from the last season. Sauron infiltrates Eregion and reveals himself as Anatar, the Lord of Gis. And he like kind of reveals himself in an elf form, which...
That was sweet. When he like basically just turns into Jesus for a second, like ascends into the clouds. I mean, it's probably what Tolkien intended, but yeah, like that was unbelievable.
And Celebrimbor was just like simping immediately. You know what I mean? He folded fast.
I would too. If somebody just did that shit in front of me, I'd be like, oh my God, fuck, give me my Bible.
He's like, actually, I'm not a human. I am sent by God to come and give you gifts. And Celebrimbor's like, oh, you fuck me, please. Let me snip your seat, Sauron. Like, he folded quick.
Yeah. I mean, fair. Yeah. I like Celebrimbor.
Yeah. Celebrimbor, he's just a silly old man. The third episode is finding out if Isildur survived the big battle from the end of the last season. He fights off Shelob, didn't expect that.
Was it Shelob?
It's the big-ass spider. It's Shelob. It has to be Shelob. There's no question.
She was kind of small.
Yeah, but this is like the second age, and it's going to be small.
That's fair. I was very stressed, by the way. I had to close my eyes quite a few times in that Oaking sequence for Beric, the horse.
Oh, yeah, the horse.
It was like for a little bit there, it was like watching Spirit, where he like that horse was so goddamn smart and impaling orcs on branches and just sprinting through the trees, gnawing away at spider webs. He was such a good horse. I love him.
Great ass horse. But yeah, fights off Shelob, which is sick. Has to be Shelob. And the only other form I've ever seen Shelob in is in that one video game where they turned her into a hot ass goth chick, which was...
They should do that again. They should break lore and make that happen again.
That was a good game. Was it War of Mordor? Shadows of Mordor, I think, was the first one. Shadows of War was the second one. The second one is the hot goth Shelob, and that's actually a pretty fun game, like faction-wise. The third episode, so the rest of the third episode is Sauron. He meets Durin, who says he's going to make him, and he says, like, hey, Durin, I'm going to make you all these rings for all the dwarves, and for men, too. And Durin's like, I don't trust your ass. You don't know Elrond. Who do you know here? And that's a boy right there. And
I also love his reasoning, too, was perfect. He was like, yeah, Elrond said you're just the wisest. You're a great man. You're one of the great dwarves. And he's like, my friend said that?
He's like, no, ain't no fucking way he would say that about me. Not a chance.
My friends would never say that about me.
Yeah. But Durin's also kind of a little desperate too, because like all of like Moria's getting fucked up. Like Khazad-dûm's getting fucked up because that eruption in Mordor, I guess, is like it kind of has like reverberations in over there. So like shit in the mines are falling apart. And I wonder if we get Durin's Bane at some point this season, because we did get teased that at the end of last season, that Balrog just sitting at the bottom of the depths.
I think so. I think if you've seen some of the like screenshots going around on Twitter, there was a moment in the opening title sequence, I think on the second or third episode, where the little pebbles form what appears to be the symbol of the Balrog. So I think we are going to get it.
Nice. In Numenor, though, we see Muriel get cucked out of the throne by Pharazôn, who takes over the throne as the big-ass eagle comes in. And he walks up to the eagle, and they're like, the eagle favors Pharazôn. And they all chant his name. Not a really great name for chanting, by the way. Like or at least the chant that they used wasn't great. So Pharazôn takes over Numenor.
That eagle is... they're supposed to be smart, right?
Yeah.
Because he was just acting like a big-ass bird.
Yeah.
Just an oversized bird just sitting there squawking.
Dumbass bird. And that fucked over now all of Numenor to be destroyed in the waves because Pharazôn takes over. But yeah, so Pharazôn now the head throne, and I believe that's where we end off. I think, when's the new episode? Or new episode's Friday?
Thursdays, I think.
Thursday, is it Thursday nights or Thursday day? I don't know, but either way.
Thursday day. Probably so they can promote with their Thursday night football slate. If I had to guess, that's why they did it that way.
With their awful Thursday night football crew. It's so weird. Yeah. Like their crew, was it Fitz, Sherman, Whitworth, and I forget who there's a woman, I forget who it is. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. He's going Chernobyl next to me right now. But yeah, their football crew, it's like all people I like, and then just together they all kind of stink. It's a weird crew. But yeah, that's the first 3 episodes. I liked it a lot. I do like that we kind of closed off some storylines that weren't like the Bronwyn stuff. The gone. She's R.I.P. Dead asshole. Gone. Don't have to worry about her anymore. We did see 5 seconds of that wretched child, which I don't think we're going to see a ton of more.
The worst.
Woaded.
He's the worst.
Woaded. Not even a lot of what the fuck's the elf's name? Arondir. We didn't even see like a ton of him, which actually I like his character. I just didn't like him with the addition of like that stupid village of dumbass humans. But yeah, that got closed off, which is nice. I wish we got more dwarves, but that's the only other thing I would complain about.
Yeah, the dwarven stuff was probably the highlight through the first 3 episodes. Really good stuff, especially with Durin and his dad, Durin. They're both just named Durin. But yeah, that stuff was fantastic. Like them, kind of coming. I mean, the fallout from last season of trusting the elves, and now they're going to have to not trust the elves, and Durin has to convince his father of that. Don't trust the elves. You told me not to. Like, we don't want these fucking rings, buddy. Like, I can tell. Love that stuff. Disa, I mentioned, love that she got her sideburns. Also love the rock singing. Was pretty interesting at that point. Very cool song. The other stuff. The lack of the Harfoot village has made the other Harfoots much more bearable. The Nori and Poppy, those two. They're much more bearable when there's not like a full on like encampment of these people. Which
it might be like a rip of Sam and Frodo, but I kind of like it. You know what I mean? Like I don't find it that cheap.
Yeah, and the stranger. So I think this is the big mystery left this season. Not the only mystery left, but the biggest one I think people are going to talk about the most is the stranger Gandalf? Like, is that Gandalf for sure? And is the man in the East being played by Kieran Hines, is that Saruman?
I saw a good theory about him somewhere, about him being a different character, like a sorcerer masquerading as something else. Like not an actual wizard, but like, I forgot what it was. I saw someone had I think they predicted he was actually like the Witch King. And like he eventually gets turned by Sauron into becoming the Witch King of Angmar, which would be interesting. Although I don't know how that works up lore-wise.
I've also seen predictions that the young boy that we hate is going to be the Witch King.
Fucking kill me, dude. Jesus.
Yeah, that'd be awful. Although it would be interesting because now he teamed up with the Isildur, so you got the Isildur and the Witch King working together. That'd be kind of weird. But yeah, no, I think the Gandalf stuff, the teasing is there for sure. They almost like straight up like when they're searching for the name, they're like, what? They said like Dalf at one point. They're like, no, that's not right. Like they're dancing around it. I think they want people to think it, but I'm not sure if they're going to go all the way with it.
I do like that he's like, now that he's speaking and that actor has like an opportunity to like play roles a little bit better. I do like the character of the stranger a lot more. And I feel like you can't have him say that line of like the follow your nose from last season with him just not being Gandalf. That's like almost impossible.
Yeah. I mean, they're teasing very hard. I think it really does fuck around. I think I told you earlier we don't mind minor changes to the lore. I'm pretty sure that's a heavy one. Like in terms of like if they make him Gandalf, that is a very large deviation from what Tolkien intended. But again, a TV show. I kind of hope he's Gandalf. I think it just like at some point maybe just say this is going to be an Elseworld story, and I think they should probably just come out and say that so people stop yelling about the lore. But yeah, no, I think it's a large step above season 1, which I enjoyed but had issues with. I think this is quite a bit better. And through 3 episodes, I'll say it's better than the House of the Dragon season 2. Like a lot better. It's a lot better than House of the Dragon season 2. I think it's fair to compare them. They're competing in the same exact space, premium fantasy television. Slow building, a lot of machinations. I think this is paced a lot better. The writing is a lot better than it was season 1. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I think if you're out on it, just be out on it. Quit yelling about it. Let people who like it enjoy it. And if you like it, understand that it may not be the most accurate thing in the world. Like, you don't need to sit around and defend it all day long on Twitter. Like, there are some issues with it.
I am afraid of or not afraid of. Oh wait, no. There was something that was very funny, and you reminded me of it with the House of Dragon. I saw a tweet where it was like George R. R. Martin's talking about writing the book, like Winds of Winter, and he's like, it's been really tough because of all the shit that's going on in the world. There's a lot of like war, like the shit in Ukraine and Russia and stuff. And someone like quote tweeted it with a picture of Obadiah Stane being like, J.R.R. Tolkien wrote Lord of the Rings during World War II. And it got me good. That was a good one.
No, there's no shot George finishes even the next one.
I bet it's here. If he does finish it, I do think, and I mentioned this before, like that has to be like maybe the most hype a book release will have had since Harry Potter, and it might be like the last time a book gets that much hype for like a book release. You know what I mean? Physical going to get a book thing. Potentially. Yeah. Unless they make like the Bible too. I don't know what would even come close.
I mean, Lord of the Rings was kind of the Bible too.
Yeah, it's true. But anyway, that's Rings of Power. Very excited for the new one. I watched Terminator Zero. It's like, I appreciate what they're trying to do. It's very 90s anime where it's like almost like a Evangelion or whatever, where it's like, or like Berserk even to a degree, where it's like, let's have these like philosophical debates like, oh, is man destined? Can we break our fate? Can we do this and that? And like, that's fine with certain properties. I don't think that fits in what at least I want as a fan out of Terminator. Like the action scenes are kind of like whatever and not that interesting. And like even the gun, like one of the big things in Terminator to me in my brain is like the gunplay in Terminator is so fucking cool. Like that's one of the biggest things. It's like big fucking dude has a minigun, he has a grenade launcher, he's making all this big loud gunfire, and like James Cameron making such a big deal to have like the natural sounds of all that. And like the gunfights in this are like muted. And like, you know what I mean? Like it's like they're shooting a gun, it's like I'm like, well, it's just not Terminator. And like I don't know, it's not for me, but I appreciate what they were going for, and I think, and I'm seeing too, like people do like it, and that's great. It's just not for me.
I don't think I'm going to watch it. I don't think I'll get around. If it had like very, very positive, ubiquitous, like across the board.
I mean, it's a high rating on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't want to act like I'm some end all be all or anything like that. Just my own.
Even just like chatter amongst like anime people I follow, like there hasn't really been extraordinary praise for it. The way like something like last year we had 2 that got insane praise in Blue Eye Samurai, which isn't straight anime but very influenced, and then Pluto also got crazy reviews, and I immediately hopped on that. It was fantastic. It's not getting that kind of like praise, so I think I'm just going to hold off. I did, however, start. What did I watch last night? English Teacher, new FX comedy series. Okay. It's okay. It's pretty good so far. I'm waiting for since I drafted the Coppola family in our last draft, I saw that the youngest Coppola is going to make an appearance at some point in the season. So. Yes, I'm adding to my roster.
The Coppolas. There was another one. Oh, I'm kind of surprised you never watched Hunter x Hunter. I don't know why. I feel like you would have watched that.
I've tried a few times. They're so little. They're so tiny. They're little boys. It feels wrong.
It definitely gets better, I would say, in the how do you consider it? Like this, which arc it would be? The second arc, I think, is better than the first, where you're kind of getting introduced to everybody. Like once you get introduced to like the True Blue Killua and like all his family and shit, like shit gets really cool. But I don't know. I feel like you would like it, especially the Chimera Ant arc is fucked. It is one of the most like fucked up things I've watched in anime. Very cool though. But yeah, that's
my girlfriend is watching Death Note now. She's very into it. She's loving it.
So I don't know if that's a good or a bad sign for you. Probably bad.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway, that's Rings of Power. Now we're going to do just for the movies that are coming and streaming this month, just a list of 5 things we're most excited for. It's not a draft, so just whatever 5 come to mind. My 5 would be, number 1 is The Penguin, no question.
Yep.
Penguin is
I'll
just the thing.
That's also my number 1.
Yeah, The Penguin is just something where we've been waiting for a while. It's going to be like our little, bridge, if you want to call it that, as we wait for the 15-year gap between Batman and Batman 2. I think Colin Farrell was one of the big highlights of the movie. Very interested to see just kind of how they made the show.
And Kristen Milioti, who just simply is not in enough stuff. I rewatched Palm Springs last month, and she's just so great in it.
That show, what was that show she did with Billy Magnuson?
Oh, I thought you were going to say the one with. Wait, was it The Resort? No,
she was in The Resort. I think that was with the dude from Good Place, right?
Yeah, Chidi, Jackson Harper.
Yeah,
the one with Billy Magnuson.
Yeah, she was in an HBO one with Billy Magnuson that was really good.
Oh, and Ray Romano.
Ray Romano, yeah.
Made for Love.
Made for Love, yeah. She was really good in that.
Yeah, but she's just like not in a lot of stuff, weirdly, and I feel like she should be. Such a unique face and like just a really great performer. So I'm excited for that. And she's playing a really cool character from the comics, Falcone's daughter, who's like kind of cutthroat and like everyone is fucking terrified of. Yeah. So that'll be very good, I think. It getting bumped up to that HBO Sunday night slot, I think, also just very much secures like confidence.
Positive sign for sure. My number 2 would be Sicario. I mean, it's just one of the greatest movies, I think, of the last like 10-ish years, I guess, because it was 2015.
I got the little Frontier trilogy, like box set, and of course, immediately threw Sicario on. And good Lord, Denny just has like such a deep bag because obviously he can do these big blockbusters, but that movie is just so different from like everything in his like everything else in his filmography, where like the action is just so intense, like the way everything, and it's the sound design too. It's just incredible. The gunfire, it's like heat levels. Like it sounds it's so fucking loud and terrifying.
Even the opening with like the bomb and like
the Arizona house,
the bodies.
Oh, great!
It's great, very good shit. What would your number 2 be?
Hold on, let me hop back to my app. I'm gonna also go a show. Second pick's gonna be a show. Old Man Season 2.
Yeah, hell yeah!
I really liked the first season. I did not expect to really care for it at all, and then just flipped it on one day on Hulu. It's good. It's really good. Jeff Bridges and John Lithgow, fucking awesome.
Very quietly solid. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, not a lot of people were like raving about it or anything. It was just a good show.
Yeah, it's only like 6 episodes too. So if you want to catch up and get to season 2, it's very doable. But yeah, no, I really like season 1. I did not realize season 2 was coming out this month until I checked out your streaming blog. I was like, oh yeah, definitely going to tune in for that. That's September 13th though. So not out yet, but here in a couple weeks or 9 days, be good to go.
My number 3 is Edge of Tomorrow. We've raved about it a million times over. I feel, and we've talked about this before, there is a feeling in the air that they're trying to announce a late sequel to it sometime soon. They've been hyping it up a lot. Cruise has been tweeting about it. Well, Cruise is whatever, social media manager. They've been talking about it. Macquarie's been talking about it. There's just a feeling in the air that they're gonna have a sequel for Edge of Tomorrow sometime soon. And it's a great movie. It could go toe to toe CGI wise with any sci-fi movie of the last 10 years. I would say it looks fantastic. I don't even think it was like insanely expensive to make. Story was cool. All the actors in it were great. Like R.I.P. Bill Paxton, he was so good in that. On all the other, Cruise and Blunt were really good tandem. Love that movie. So gonna watch that.
Yeah, no, that movie rules. I watched it 2 months ago on my flight back from Europe, and there was a Indian man sitting next to me, about 70 years old. No headphone. He didn't have his headphones, but he was just intently watching my screen, very invested, even without the sound, which I think speaks to how good this movie is. And yeah, no, I do think the sequel happens. It's a Max or a Warner Brothers production, right?
I think it was Paramount.
Oh, Paramount? Well,
Yeah.
if it's Paramount, then Tom Cruise can do whatever the fuck he wants. He owns that studio.
It was Paramount. Almost
And
sure.
I mean, he's got the Warner's deal now, where he has like an encampment on their lot.
Yeah. Warner Brothers. Never mind.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, come on, Tom. How would they do it though? I think he is. We talked about it last week. I think he might be a little too old to be doing. Maybe he just is like the guy commanding the troops against the what are they called? Echoes or something?
Yeah, Mimics.
Mimics. Yeah.
I'm not sure how exactly they would play it. I mean, he would have to be a commander, though. Yeah, he's nearing. He's one of the few. I think we talked about this with as far as like Mark Wahlberg goes. He's one of the few guys that has been able to live past that, like Tom Brady himself in the action sphere. But I don't know. Yeah, we're reaching that point. Yeah. He is playing, I think, a villain in stuff. Do you remember? What's that thing we talked about recently? The
Inarritu movie.
Inarritu movie. Yeah, very interested in that. What would your number 3 be?
My number 3, he's got a movie releasing at the end of this month. Some are calling it a big swing that could miss quite brilliantly. Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula is on Prime now. I would suggest anyone to watch this. There's a good chance you fucking hate this movie, but I think it's worth everyone to see it. It is truly unbelievable to look at. And Gary Oldman, talking about him before, right? Gary Oldman? Yes. Gary Oldman is fantastic in the movie. Really great. He's as good as Keanu Reeves is bad. Keanu Reeves, one of the all-time miscasts, trying to do a British accent throughout the movie. I feel so bad for him. He's so young and so innocent. And you can tell it's not his fault, but he just shouldn't have been put in that situation. It's so funny. Tom Waits in it as well. Winona Ryder when she was still hot. Monica Bellucci.
Whoa. Was
listen
this was what's going on here.
But no, I would recommend anyone to see this, especially with Megalopolis right around the corner, because that's a movie that was really hated when it came out. I think people really didn't like it. Got very, very mixed reviews, but it's something
I saw them in that trailer for Megalopolis.
What? Oh yeah, I mean, you saw the reviews, yeah, of course, the AI generated reviews.
Yeah, what's his name? Buddy Pound's review, didn't love it. Grunkle Max, not a fan. You gotta do those for the Megalopolis, the fake reviews.
Well, yeah, we will for sure. But Bram Stoker's Dracula, I would recommend anyone watch it. I really like it. You may not like it, but I think it's worth seeing, even if you don't.
Mm-hmm. My number 4 would be Prisoners. Just talking about Denny before. I mean, Prisoners is an all-timer. He's in that. Like, Dalmastican, like, fucking Dano, Jackman, Gyllenhaal. Like, they're all at the top of their game. So good in that movie. I love Prisoners.
Anytime Paul Dano's getting the shit beat out of him, you know it's a good movie.
Oh, yeah.
And he really gets the shit beat out of him in that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's Jackman, like, at his most properly used, I think. Like, that intense, like, anger. Like, you take it from Wolverine and you just crank it up 10 notches. That's his character in Prisoners.
Got a crank on Wolverine, no question. And the ending of it is also very good.
Oh, great. I'm going to go, this is like just a very normie pick, but this time of year, it's a perfect movie. The Shining. The Shining is hitting Max. It's on Max now. It's amazing. Fuck the book. This is one of those instances. Fuck the book. I don't care about how much the movie deviates from it. Whatever changes Stanley Kubrick made, the right choice. It was the right.
He hates it. He hates the movie. Stephen King despised the movie. It's great.
He pick rocks. I don't give a fuck. He loved Pet Sematary.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, fuck off, Stephen King. Stick to the. You can write books. Let Stanley make the movies. That movie is just fantastic. Yeah, come on.
Yeah. My last one would be, and this is one just because I'm hearing some pretty positive chatter about it. Rebel Ridge on Netflix. It's like action movie that's basically just like Walking Tall, more or less, just a ripoff. It's like a vet comes home and is getting harassed by corrupt cops, and he has to beat the fuck out of them to like save the small town. It's very ripoff of Walking Tall, but like I don't know. I'm hearing good chatter about it. I'm a sucker for like a good simple action movie. The action looks good. Don Johnson in it, the Superior Johnson between him and Dakota, and yeah, I'm just into it.
It's called, what was it? Rebel Ridge?
Rebel Ridge.
I was looking it up. Okay. I'm going through the streaming log right now. Oh, there it is.
Yeah. It looks interesting. It's just give me
it's out now.
I think it comes out the 6th, so it'll be the 2 days. An ex-Marine grapples his way through a web of small-town corruption when an attempt to post bail for his cousin escalates into a violent standoff with the local police chief. Aaron Pierre, yeah, is the main guy. I don't know him that well, but Don Johnson obviously know. Some other people in here too. Let's see. Emery Cohen, who's always just a freak in every movie I've seen him in. David Denman, who I think that's Office Jim's nemesis, right?
Yeah.
And then a couple other guys too. Anna Sophia Raba, yeah, sure. And a couple other people. But yeah, I'm into it. Jeremy Saulnier directing. Let's see. What has he done? Green Room. Oh, love Green Room. Oh, yeah. More pumped up for this now. Green Room was an awesome movie. You ever watch that?
Oh, he directed Green Room?
Yeah.
The one with Anton Yelchin?
Yeah. And
yeah.
Great movie. Very into this stuff. Very, very into they said. And like, if this was just like generic Netflix slop that like no one talked about, no one cared about, I'd be like, whatever, I'm not going to watch this. But like, enough people I've seen like tweet about being like, oh, this is like surprisingly pretty solid. It's got me a little pumped up for it.
I'll just check it out. Yeah. And then my last pick, I'm going to go with, it's out on Hulu now. I'm going to go with Amsterdam.
No, you're not.
I'm just fucking kidding.
No, you're not.
Fuck that movie. I'm going to go with Everybody Wants Some. It's coming to Prime Video September 15th. It is almost never streaming on like one of the bigger streaming services. It hit Paramount for a little bit over the summer. But usually it's just like, not even on Paramount. Like it's nowhere. You can't find the fucking movie. It's finally on like one of the bigger ones. Maybe not Hulu or Netflix, but Prime Video is big enough. It's coming September 15th. Richard Linklater, one of my all-time favorite movies. Rewatch it pretty much every year. Such a great vibes movie, sports movie. It kind of nails like just that feeling of being in college for your first week. A lot of our coworkers, I keep recommending it to them. They say they're going to get around to it. They need to get around to it now. Now that it's on Prime Video, I think all of our coworkers should have that. September 15th, definitely check it out if you haven't seen it before. So good. I think anyone in our audience would like it.
Yeah.
Like our demographic, they should like it.
Yeah, very, very good. Like, does not matter how you're feeling.
Yeah, it's Daisy infused in the 80s and in college.
So that's our streaming picks. Actually, like last weekend.
What'd you think?
As a kid, I remember not liking it very much. Wouldn't totally get as a kid or something like that. But like, I don't know. I like it a little bit more as an adult. Still not like over the moon about it by any means.
Mm-hmm. I also like that it's like, I think it's like 80 minutes long.
Yeah, very quick. It was like an hour and a half, dude. It was nuts.
Which when you're doing like a family kids movie, like, yeah, that's probably a good target to have is like under 90 minutes.
That dog will hunt.
All that practical stuff too. You just don't get that anymore, which I'm really hoping the new one has that like level of production. It's tracking to make like $1 billion fucking dollars, by the way. It's like tracking for like a $200 million opening weekend.
It is kind of funny. I saw the clips of Michael Keaton. They were asking about like the Batgirl movie. And they're like, yeah, how do you feel the Batgirl movie not coming out? And he's like, I don't give a shit. It was so fucking fun.
I think the question was taken a little out of context, but the quote itself is very funny. He's like, I don't care. But I think they asked him how he feels that he won't be able to see his performance.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't give a fuck. Like, he's like, I don't know. It's like, it doesn't affect me. I do think he probably feels bad for everyone else who worked on it. But yeah, no, that quote was funny. Another quote that's been funny from this tour was the Winona Ryder not even veiled shot at Millie Bobby Brown. Just straight up, fuck you, Millie Bobby Brown. Watch a fucking movie. Which if you missed it, Winona Ryder was like, Yeah, because she's so excited to be working with Jenna Ortega. Clearly loves her. And Jenna Ortega is kind of a artsy cinephile girl. Has very deep cut references when it comes to movies, which she's an actress. That's probably for the best. But Millie Bobby Brown a few months ago said she doesn't watch movies because they're too long, and which just fucking insane. She said it, by the way, on her press tour for Damsel. Yeah. And Winona Ryder comes out and she's
long movie, by the way.
Kids these days, they won't watch movies because they're too long. And she's just like pretty much taking Millie Bobby Brown's exact quote and is like, fuck these kids. Loved it.
Now, speaking of Jenny Ortega, you watched that music video?
Please, Please, Please?
Yeah. No, the one with it's not Please, 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 the music video, is it?
I don't know what it was. I don't know. But I did see the music video.
People were pretty excited about it.
I would say more if my girlfriend wasn't sitting on the bed right next to me.
But anyway, that's the episode. I think next week we'll do Beetlejuice. I would say I'm at like a medium level of excitement for that. Again, not a massive Beetlejuice guy or by any means, but anything Keaton wants to come back and do, I'm down.
Yeah, he seems really excited to be doing it, which I'm sure he's paid to do that, but this does seem like his movie. The first one for sure is his movie, which I didn't remember how much it was. But yeah, no, I'm pumped for this. Kind of. I mean, August was just so fucking bad, to be honest, that I'm just like happy to be out of it. And this feels like the first big blockbuster we've gotten in since Deadpool Wolverine.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been like literally Deadpool Wolverine won the it's been winning the box office like every week basically. And I think it was Variety that tweeted like for lack of better options.
Romulus. Yeah.
Yeah. Except for Romulus. And it was like for lack of better options, Deadpool has won the box office this weekend again.
Yeah. Yeah. My parents were in town, like I said, and I was thinking about taking them to see a movie, and then I just like looked at like what was out, and I was just like, there's nothing here I would make my parents sit through. Like not a single one of these.
You need like a lighthearted comedy for a parent, and like I don't know, that's not
nothing.
Yeah, but watch Beetlejuice for next week. Until then, we'll see you guys then.
See you.